Marine Captain Sam Cahill is leaving for Afghanistan in a few days. He wrote a farewell letter, which will be given to his wife if he does not return home. Sam, an exemplary family man raising 2 daughters. Tommy's younger brother, his exact opposite, has just been released from prison after serving time for bank robbery. Tommy moved on to a family dinner and the younger niece immediately turned in her mom, saying that she didn't like him.
We celebrate the return of one son and bless the other on the road.
Father Hank is angry at Tommy and sets him an example of Sam, who serves for the good of the motherland, and does not break the law. It ended in an argument and Hank left the house. Leaving, Tommy asks his brother to be careful. Sam takes the ring off his finger and hangs it around his neck. 5 days later, Sam is already driving around the Afghan desert. Soon the helicopter on which he was flying with his squad is shot down. Grace was taking a bath when 2 soldiers came to tell her the terrible news about her husband's death. She can't accept it and constantly dials Sam's mobile number. At night, a drunk Tommy drove up to the house to return the car. It's strange that Grace is so upset about the broken headlight, and then she tells Tommy what happened to his brother. He is the last one who found out about the tragedy because no one could reach him all day. Grace gathers her daughters for the funeral. The girls refuse to wear black dresses. The widow was given that very farewell letter. After the ceremony, Hank has been drinking, and Tommy tries to take the keys from him so that his father doesn't drive drunk. Hank reproaches the younger one again, but Tommy also has something to show the old man, who was not the best father and husband, and even drove this military nonsense to the eldest son. It turned out that Sam and another soldier, Private Joe, survived. The Taliban captured them and threw them into Zendan, an underground prison dungeon. Drunk Tommy calls Grace at 3 in the morning and asks her to help him with the money. He didn't have enough $47 to pay off the bartender, and he is now threatening to inform the cops about the violation of parole. The woman had to rescue a wayward relative in the middle of the night and bring him to her home. He woke up to the sound of kitchen utensils. The girls decided to cook pancakes and please their mother. Hank came to them. He did not expect to see his son here. The man apologizes for his behavior yesterday, and Tommy admits that Sam has always been smarter than him. It's not like that, Hank replies, it's just that you've always given up everything you didn't take up, unlike your brother. I'd cut my throat if it could bring him back, Dad. A helicopter flies over the Taliban camp. Sam is sure that they are being searched for and started knocking out the boards with a stone. They threatened him with a machine gun and put a healthy boulder on top of the boards. Tommy remembered his father's words about Grace's lousy kitchen and decided to renovate it with his friends without warning. 2 months have passed. While Sam tries to stay calm, the private gradually goes crazy and accuses the captain of having saved him, and now he lives in hell. Sam insists that Johnny never say who he is and what his rank is. The alibis decided something among themselves, and the Americans were transported by car to another place. They are filmed on camera. An Afghan was put on his knees in front of the prisoners. He used a satellite phone to call his pregnant wife, and thereby revealed their location. The culprit was immediately shot in the head. This is their country and you have nothing to do here. This is the message Sam has to convey to America, or he will be forced to do it. While Grace is sad for her husband, the renovation continues. The men also connected their sisters to work. They remember what a good athlete their father was. Maggie turned over a tub of paint on the bearded man, and now he needs pants and a t-shirt to replace. Gracie went to choose something from her husband's wardrobe, but freaked out and took everything that fit in her hands. Your body is driving you crazy, Owen. Owen does not understand why so many clothes were brought to him and whether it should be returned later. Sam was tied to a pole in the open air for a while. Now Joe is being tortured with a red-hot iron before his eyes. He could not stand the torture and said on camera that there was nothing for Americans to do here, and at the same time sent greetings to his wife and child. He also revealed that Sam has 2 daughters. The updated kitchen was completed just for Grace's birthday. All her relatives congratulate her, but she really lacks one of the closest people. Winter has come. During the walk, Isabel's older sister complains to Tommy that everyone loves Maggie because she's cute. You have to accept it, Isabel. And everything is crazy for you, too. Come on, what Tommy is good at is getting along with kids. One day a guy came to a bank employee who threatened with a weapon and asked her for forgiveness. They talked for an hour. After that incident, the woman could not sleep properly for 3 years. All this time she was afraid that the bandit would come back and shoot her. In the evening, Tommy and Grace reminisce about their school years. The woman says she didn't like him because he was always drunk and fighting with someone. Suddenly they kissed passionately. Grace decided she'd better go get some air, and Tommy started crying. All this time, the letter from her husband was sealed, and she did not read it now. Sam and Private Joe continue to be tortured. Once he was given an iron pipe and ordered to kill a comrade. He has already told everything and has become a burden to the Taliban. Sam first threw out the pipe, but they pointed a gun at him and said it was either you or him. And the man, amid the cries of the Afghans, beat the exhausted Joe to death. The execution was filmed on camera. Tom Myasnova visited Grace's house under the pretext of installing decorative slats. He says he would be happy to see the girls sometimes. Later, Hank also came. He wonders when his son managed to become a jack of all trades. The Taliban camp is being attacked by American troops. One of the main ones wanted to kill Sam, but he himself was shot, and he fell into the gorge. The camera with the recording burned down. The Marine was finally released from captivity. When Tommy was playing with the children in the yard, Grace received a call and was informed that her husband had survived after all. The whole family met him at the airport. Tommy is both happy and sad at the same time. First of all, the girls brag about the brand new kitchen. Sam lay down on the bed and hugged his wife and daughters tightly. Grace goes into her husband's bathroom and kisses his scars, but Sam is cold and hints that she should come out. Hank sees that Sam is behaving strangely, and remembers how he himself returned from the Vietnam War and distanced himself from his sons. At the rink, Sam thanks his brother for looking after his family. He didn't expect this from him. Grace is a miracle, he continues, and suddenly asks, "Have you slept with her?" He understands how this could happen, because they thought he was dead. What's going on in your head? What could you think of that? And you guys look like two teenagers in love. But he cannot be persuaded. Sam is 100% sure that they slept together. The family of the murdered soldier came to visit the Cahills. John Jr. crawled around the corner. The widow constantly dreams of her husband, as well as Sam, whom she hated in her dream because he survived. And her Joe is not there, so she came to apologize. Sam lies to the woman that he didn't see her husband die, and basically doesn't know anything about his death. At night Sam got stuck and he started putting glasses on the shelf with a gun in his hand. He walks around with a gun all over the house. The next day, Sam arrived at the military base and there declares that he already wants to go back. He can't be here. They don't understand. No one understands. But Sam will still have to spend some time with his family. During dinner, the girls talk about all sorts of nonsense and joke. And then Sam lost his temper and ran into his daughters, saying that what they say is not funny, so why are they laughing? Grace tried to calm her husband down, but he just left the table. Isabel wonders when Uncle Tommy will be back. There's clearly something wrong with Dad. Gracie wants her husband to talk to her about what was done to them in Afghanistan, but he is more interested in finding out what they had with Tommy.
We kissed, that's all.
And nothing more, says Grace. I thought you were dead. But Sam is still sure that they slept together. He came to the grave of Joe, who was only 21 years old, in the middle of the night. The girls were playing in the yard when their father returned home. Isabel froze in place. She is afraid of him and backs away. Sam hugs his daughters and says that everything will get better. The eldest barely holds back tears. Sam tells his wife that he thought about his family all night and understands how lucky he is to have survived. Maggie's birthday, everyone is waiting for Tommy to come to the party. He did not come alone, but with a girl, Tina, whom he met just an hour ago. So he wants to defuse the situation. Tina gets smart and says all sorts of nonsense about the military. Tommy pokes her with his elbow, but the girl has dispersed and is not going to shut up. Sam tensed up. The daughters were spoiled. It is Isabel who is constantly being pulled down by her father. The girl says that her sister is loved more and she always gets the best. Isabel cracks the balloon and interferes with the conversation of adults in order to attract attention to herself again. In the end, Sam freaked out and the balloon burst. Daughter blurts out, "Why didn't you stay dead? You're freaking out because Mom wants to sleep with Uncle Tommy, not you. They make love all the time." There was a deathly silence. Maggie asked to go to bed. Before going to bed, Isabel asks her mother for forgiveness. She knows that this is not true. She just does not like Dad and wants Uncle Tommy to be instead of him. Me too, Maggie says. Sam is sitting in the living room and is interested in his wife, prayed to watch before going to bed. Then he got up and began to smash the brand new kitchen with a crowbar. How could she have slept with his own brother? But she knows what he did to get back to his whore wife. What did he do with his own hands? Sam hysterically hits himself on the head and continues to smash the kitchen. At that moment Tommy came into the house and hugged his brother, but he took a gun from his bosom and started poking it at the younger's head. Police sirens sounded. Sam came out to the policeman with a gun in his hand. He is ordered to put the weapon on the ground, but he is outraged why they came at all. The cops say they know he's a war hero. What kind of hero am I? Sam answers, you don't know what I did. And he moves the gun to his temple. Tommy and Grace are trying to reach him and prevent a tragedy. What's the matter with you, Sam? I'm drowning Tommy. Sam threw away the gun and the police arrested him. Finally, Gracie opened the envelope and read her husband's letter about how much Sam loves her and his girls. The man himself called Tommy from a psychiatric clinic for war veterans to reconcile with him. Tommy stayed with his nieces. Aggression came to visit her husband. Once again, a woman asks to tell her what happened to him. Why is he tormenting himself so much? I killed him. I killed Joe Willis. After the confession, Sam wonders if he will be able to live a normal life after everything that happened.